Okay, so something that I recommend if you've got a warped record, it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't play, but sometimes you'll find that a record has a slight warp. As you can see here when I press down, it's not too bad, but you can see that it's not quite as flat as it could be in the centre. Sometimes you get extreme cases where it's warped so bad, there's not really much you can do about it, especially 180 gram records. Once they get warped, that you can't really make them go back, unfortunately. Severely warped, that is. But what I would recommend is something such as this. You can get fairly cheap. They're known as vinyl turntable clamps. There's all sorts of different ones you can get. Some are quite high tech. This is a very basic one. I think it cost me about £10, £15. I think I got it off the Wish app, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the Wish app, but you can get them pretty much anywhere. Now what you basically do is, you can see here, if I can get it in the light, there is a hole underneath. You basically position that on the spindle and it just holds it down. So now the slight warp that there was is pretty much completely gone, and it just adds a bit of stability to the thing. Now, one thing that you will notice about this, obviously with a turntable, it really does need to be balanced when you set the thing up, and usually I'd recommend a spirit level of some kind, but this kind of does that as well. It doubles as a spirit level. As you can see, there is a bubble in the centre of the thing, and it's dead centre. I managed to line this turntable up without this, but it was just nice that when I did put this on, it did confirm that it was very well balanced. So I guess I did a good job there when I originally set this up. But this is something that I recommend anyway. Like I say, if you've got a slight warp in your records, it's not necessarily going to make the thing unplayable or even make it skip, but it just does add to the stability of the thing when it's playing, and especially for some audiophiles out there that are a bit more into this than I am, it might make the difference for you if you're noticing a problem with the sound on the records that you're playing. So just a handy little tip there. Like I say, you can get all sorts of elaborate ones. You can get some where they have like a screw in the top and it basically attaches itself to the spindle and you turn it and it doesn't use weight, because obviously this uses the weight to press down on it, basically just gravity. But the ones that you can get that have the clamp where you screw it, it basically latches onto it and screws it in place. It's not actually the weight of the thing, because you can go quite heavy with some of these. This is a fairly light one, but you can get some that are heavier. Now the problem with that is you don't know whether or not your turntable is going to be able to take that excess weight. So something to check out. You might have instructions on this thing that say exactly how heavy a weight you can put on this thing if your turntable has that kind of information with it. But I'd be very careful. I think it gets to a point, if your record is so extremely warped that you need a very heavy one of these, you're pretty much screwed, to be honest, unless you've got some other way of doing it, or if your turntable can take the extra weight. So I hope that makes sense anyway. Like I say, that was just basically something that I thought I'd throw out there. A very simple fix to problems that we all have. I mean, I've got a number of warped records, but none of them have a problem of warping so bad that they just don't play. But I think having a clamp of some kind, whether it's weight-based or some other technical gadgetry to it, I think there is a fix in most cases. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching.